Good morning and kuzu zangpola. My name is Jamyang Chodun and I'm a program officer of Bhutan Foundation, and it is my honor today to serve as your MC for the National Disability Conference 2025. Today's conference is being organized by Bhutan Foundation and the Disabled People's Organization of Bhutan and is held in commemoration of International Day for People with Disabilities. This year's global theme is Fostering Disability-Inclusive Societies for Advancing Social Progress. To officially begin the conference, I would like to invite Ms. Nobo Demo, Country Director of the Bhutan Foundation, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Distinguished guests, professionals, parents, friends, advocates, and most importantly, members of the disability community, a very good morning and welcome. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this conference. And today we gather not just as policymakers or professionals, but as people who deeply care and are committed to advancing the cause of disability rights and inclusion. On behalf of the organizing team, the Disabled Persons Organization and the Bhutan Foundation, I want to thank all other government officials and distinguished guests from our partner organizations who have joined us. I understand there are many pressing engagements, and your support shows that this cause is shared and is of priority and is urgent. We are honored to be joined by our international experts, Dr. Namita, who is not a stranger for many of us, a disability expert and a program advisor for Bhutan Foundation, and Professor John from the University of Edinburgh, who brings expertise in registries, referral systems, and training teachers. We also welcome and thank the media and press for joining us, and would like to commend the media for the increased coverage of the sector in the recent years. This year's international theme is Fostering Disability-Inclusive Societies for Advancing Social Progress. This aligns closely with our aspirations for Bhutan, and we meet at a time when conversations around disability rights are growing within Bhutan. Policies are evolving, and technology is opening possibilities, and communities are pushing for inclusion. Keeping with this theme, the conference intends to explore the full journey of a person with disability from birth, early childhood, to education, to skilling, to employment, and to participation in society, their challenges and their success. At the heart of the conference, we are asking, how can we collectively ensure every stage of life is supported with dignity and opportunity? Before we tackle the challenges and the possibilities, we must remind ourselves of the progress Bhutan has already made. Progress that gives us hope and the foundation that we can build on. The government has initiated early screening and intervention programs with health services, strengthened inclusive education policies, and families, communities, and NGOs have stepped up with vital services and advocacy. Since 2003, special education school has grown from 1 school to 50 schools now. Standards and guidelines have been developed, adopted. Skilling and employment opportunities have also been initiated. The disability policy was adopted in 2019, and just last year in 2024, Bhutan has ratified to the Conventions on the Rights of Persons with Disability. Social protection policies and systems are under discussion to further strengthen inclusion. Yet, progress alone does not capture the full picture. Alongside these achievements are the daily struggles of many families and persons with disability continue to face. Policy intent has not yet fully translated into actions. For instance, more than 70% of children with disability remain out of school, and many young adults, even after attending STEM schools, struggle to access higher education, skilling opportunity, or any sort of meaningful engagement. For many, it's predictable that they will either be sitting home or end up enrolling in DRUXO. And I don't mean DRUXO as a bad, place to be in. DRUXO, despite the constraints and limitations, have not turned away a single child. But all that I'm underscoring here is that maybe that is not the only pathway for all children. Maybe some for DRUXO might be the right place. Caring for children with disability is both emotionally and financially demanding. I've met many parents who have left their jobs, relocated homes, or dedicated themselves entirely as full-time caregivers. Each day for many of us is a delicate balancing act, managing health appointments, therapies, schooling, family responsibilities, while navigating a system that often feels fragmented. And a constant concern for many of the parents is the question that we carry: who will care for my child when we are no longer here? Alongside these stories, we also hear many stories of resilience and success. With the right support and accommodations, persons with disability have become entrepreneurs, creating opportunities not just for themselves, but for others as well. Today morning, I was talking to Leki Choden, who successfully graduated from DRUXO, has set up an outlet of her own, and she has 3 other fellow friends who are working with her. So like that, there are many stories of resilience and success as well. In one of our visits to a STEM school, I met a young girl with cerebral palsy, abandoned by her parents. But her grandmother has not given up hopes on her. It's the grandmother who brings her to school every day, refusing to give up. The school, despite the constraints, and the teachers have provided shelter for the grandmother and the child, and she is making progress. This has given hopes and confidence to the grandmother that before she's too old to care for her, her granddaughter will gain some level of independence. At the same time, we must confront many realities. Why are children and persons with disabilities often confined to their homes or the limited space? Much of our public infrastructure remains inaccessible. Even for this conference, the organizing team had to work late into the night to make some accommodations. Again, we want to thank the hotel staff here. They have been very forthcoming with assistance and support. It's just lack of awareness in terms of how public infrastructures are designed. These are realities we cannot ignore, and they remind us that while we have made progress, there are significant gaps that remain to be addressed. The stories and realities remind us that without clearly understanding who needs support and what the support looks like, even the best intentioned policy can fall short. This is why accurate, disaggregated data on disability is essential. Disability should not be reduced to percentages, and as policymakers and service providers, we must go beyond broad categories and the assumptions that we make. Bhutan's small population offers a unique opportunity to collect and track disaggregated data by type of disability, ensuring programs in health, education, and welfare respond to real individual needs. Interventions and programs cannot be one size fits all. For instance, a deaf child with all other faculties intact, for example, can aspire to become an engineer or take up any profession. But right now, everybody is forced to take up some sort of like skilling opportunity. Again, that may be pathway for some, but may not be for all. It's just we have not anticipated and thought and planned for transitions. With accurate data in hand, we can design interventions that truly meet individual needs. Again, data alone is not enough. Now, technology offers powerful tools to turn information into real opportunities, enabling persons with disabilities to overcome barriers and reach their potential. Communication tools empower non-verbal individuals. They are assistive devices which enable those with mobility challenges to accomplish tasks once thought impossible. Technology can unlock potential and independence in ways we are only beginning to explore. With some of our partners, we have initiated some use of technology and prototyping of assistive technology, which are being exhibited outside, and we invite you to explore the exhibition during the lunch and tea breaks. Before I conclude, I'm really heartened that today morning in Limpo's address, Limpo mentioned that disability is a shared responsibility. It's not a responsibility of a single ministry organization. Families, communities, and private sector, civil society, development partners, and government must work together in a coordinated, intentional, and sustained way. And inclusion should never be tokenistic. It must be embedded in policy, practice, and everyday life. Thank you once again to all the distinguished guests, participants, partners, and advocates, and the community members for your presence and dedication. Together, we can ensure that disability is not a barrier or a burden or a charity, but a lens through which we can build a stronger and inclusive Bhutan. Thank you. Tashdele.